at me now, you see me winning now. Look at me now, you see me winning now. Look at me now, you see me winning now. Look at me now, you see me winning now. Look at me now, you see me winning now. Look at me now, you see me winning now.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to AngieBWinn Podcast. I know last Friday y'all didn't see your girl. I took a much needed break last week. I was just completely overwhelmed, the influx of the clients and just what it is that I needed to create with them, and really just giving myself time and permission to rest, heed to the days off that I had planned for myself to get into the position with God to show me how I'm supposed to run my business. How is this thing going to flow? And so I did not do a podcast last week, so you didn't miss anything. Prayerfully, you're caught up on episodes 1 and 2 because today is 3, and today we're talking about the motive behind it all. Really, I felt like the Holy Spirit was telling me to think about why I was doing something, especially being an entrepreneur, creating a social media presence, regardless of if it's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Why do we do the things that we do? Is it self-serving? Did God really tell us to do the things that we're saying that He told us to do? Did we lose sight of what it is that we're really supposed to be doing? All these things boils down to what's the motive behind it all? Why are you doing the things that you're doing in your business, in life, in your educational career, in your work career? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're desiring to do or to level up or whatever growth that you're looking for, why? What is your why? And that's something that God has really been dealing with me about, because I have these big ideas and I know that God gives us vision. We have to allow God to mature us in the areas in which we require to have influence or bring about change, because if we're not ready and God hasn't dealt with us internally and we haven't really, perfected these different areas in our life, then we're not going to be of value to the things that we are believing God to do in our businesses and our lives. So the motive behind it all really is challenge you all to think about, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why do I post this? Why do I feel like I need to create this? Why am I buying this? Why do I want this degree? Why do I want to pursue this career? All these are really necessary questions for you to ask yourself, because if our motives are not aligned with our why or something that's supposed to be value to us, if it has nothing to do with what God is purposing you to do, then it's going to fail. And so we really have to ask ourselves those hard questions, and one of them being, why am I doing this? What's the motive behind it? Is it because you want popularity, or is it because you want to be paid? Is it because you believe that you're really making a difference in this individual's life or this group of individuals' lives? For me, I didn't just want to stick myself in being an influencer. I wanted to be influential. There's nothing wrong with influencing, but the pivot that God has allowed me to do in my business, it was necessary for me to kind of pivot how I represent myself on social media, my language and my demographic and my target audience. I'm more aware of who they are. And so my goal is to make sure that whatever I'm creating, whatever it is that I'm saying, whatever type of events that I'm hosting, that it aligns with where I believe that God has me to be in my business. The same in life. So that question, the motive behind it all, definitely plays a very imperative piece in our lives, and something that we should ask ourselves quite often as we develop, as we walk into new territory, as we embark on new journeys and different processes. And once we get a taste of it, it's like, you have to make sure that you're wise enough and that you have the clarity enough to check yourself, self-correction, asking God for wisdom. And so when you are off a track, or if you're not aligned, you always are able to ask yourself this question. Okay, so I want to do this. I'm kind of feeling like I shouldn't do this. Let me go back to the drawing board. Is this something that aligns with where God has me to do in this space at this time? That's an important question, because this is what's going to direct our decision making. But if we start to, operate in our own strength and our own wills and our own minds, then sometimes we forget, we take a detour. And so it's really important for you all to, and for me too, this is for me too, to always ask ourselves, what's the motive behind it? Is it self-serving, or is this something that's going to be beneficial for someone else? I do want to touch on the self-serving point, because we all want to grow, we want to develop, we want to make money. And we have to ask ourselves questions like that when it comes to making money, because is it about making money, or is this of value to the point where I feel like it needs to cost money, but when they invest in this, will it be beneficial to their lives? Is it something that will assist? And so we have to ask ourselves these questions when we're doing business God's way. This is all for doing business God's way. So I really pray and hope that you were encouraged and that you were blessed. And that you're really challenged to ask yourself, if you're not already, what is the motive behind it all? Everything cannot be about us as we are, impacting people, as we are bringing value to people, as we continue to do good works and good deeds to represent the kingdom, then God would honor our efforts. So again, I pray that you were blessed. If you haven't caught up on AngieBWinn the podcast episodes 1 and 2, I encourage you to do that as well. Leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, give me feedback. Were you encouraged? And do you ask yourself, what's the motive behind it all? You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.